Good afternoon, everyone. Good to see you young men here in Empowerment Day. Again, my name is Marc Click. I'm from Louisville. Lived all over the place. I moved back here several years ago. Thank you for the opportunity. Good to see colleagues, friends, and all the ladies, sisters here from Canaan. I appreciate your time. I won't take too long, but I want to share some things with you. I'm from Louisville. I went to DeSales High School. I went to Cumberland College. Now it's known as the School of the Cumberland University of Cumberland, down in Williamsburg, Kentucky. I started having an interest in finance and business when I was young. Didn't know why. I just did. I started watching things on TV, reading the newspaper, asking questions. Because I didn't grow up in wealth. I didn't have anybody in the family wealthy or had a lot of money. But I knew my family worked hard. And really, what Shore and everybody's been telling you, it's all about focus, discipline, and working hard. But you got to have a passion behind what you're doing. So she asked me to talk about the scholarship fund, creating your own thing. Well, I want to share some things with you. And I'm going to leave this material with you.
Thank you.
One of the things I have it's a book called How to Teach, it says kids, but in this case, young men, how to be millionaires. And then I have this piece here, Millionaires in Training. This is something that we'll talk about on a future date. There's too much information right now. But this is a seminar a friend of mine and I did several years ago when I was new in the business. I've been in it for almost 20 years now. And we did this seminar around the country in different businesses and churches and community centers, universities, and we had other corporations sponsored like the Atria Group, which was formerly known as Philip Morris. We would do it on USC campus out in LA and different places in Philadelphia, church conferences. And so what we did was we talked about how to pay yourself first. How do you start from where you are at 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 years old and get to where all the adults are in this room, building success, having a great life for yourself. This other piece here is a workbook and a textbook that has a lot of different things in it that talks about how to take $1 a day and pay yourself. Or if you took $1 a day and put away $365 a year, that's just real small. But then if you do chores around the home and different things you like to do, or work a summer job, it can grow fast. I mean, you can really make some serious money for your own scholarship fund. Basically, you learn how to pay yourself. And, here, you want to look at this, sir. And then the other thing is, I want to mention.
It's me, right here. I'm almost there, millionaire in training. I don't apologize for it.
Right. So some other tools that I learned several years ago is you got to be educated and you got to have a mentor. So right now, the organization, the group that you're a part of, basically is the foundation for your mentorship for your life. And you have to take it seriously. Okay. Now I'm gonna show you this book. I'm not gonna give it to you. It's the only one I have. Plus He signed it for me years ago. Called Banking on Our Future, Bank on Your Future, or Our Future by John Hope Bryant. He's the founder and CEO of Operation Hope. A friend of mine, known him for a long time, followed him his whole business career. He created the first nonprofit investment global bank now. He's all over the world. So he talks about in this book for all age groups, from middle school to high school to college students, about how to make money, how to be disciplined, how to start your own business, and even how to build credit. And you'll understand that as time goes on. The other one is by a book by a guy named Dennis Kimbrough.
Yeah.
The Wealth Choice, Success Stories of Black Millionaires. I know him as well. He's a colleague, and both of those guys are reside in Atlanta, Georgia. He talks about how black millionaires think, how they involve themselves with leadership, what their passion is, but it also breaks down statistics, what industries, what careers, what businesses. Not necessarily professional sports,
Right.
but how do you use your mind? How do you get developed? So this is a great book. It's not a hard read. It looks like it, but it's very, very simple. And it's all information. And you need to know this stuff because what you do now is going to shape and mold your mind for the rest of your life. Trust me on that. The other thing I want to share is I want to paint a picture, a timeline. This was back in October of 2007, Black Enterprise Magazine. It's called the Ultimate Retirement Guide, How to Finance Your Dreams. And this is a tribute to the Brothers Ebony Magazine. This past October, November, you've heard of him, right?
Right.
Okay. Well, I'm in both of these magazines.
All right.
Okay. God bless me to
Shot caller.
be able to, find favor. I mean, I guess, when you work hard and you've been in it a while, people find out who you are and they want to know what you're doing and they honor you. And this is it's 2 pages. It says achieve action figures. So they picked 8 brothers around the country.
All right.
And only 7 made it in here and I was one of them. Okay. So this was a special issue, and it's on their website. You can go to their website and see it. It ran for 2 straight months. This is the only magazine they had out for 2 straight months. And Kevin Hart, he talks about a lot of things. He tells his success story in here, and we kind of talk about ours in here. They didn't put the whole interview of ours, but they put several things in there. And I have a stick. You can look at that. And I'm telling you, I didn't grow up with a finance degree, nor did I know anybody with money.
That's Mark for real.
Okay? So what I'm telling you is I still don't have a finance degree in college, so to speak. But I do as an entrepreneur. Okay? I got turned down 13 times for jobs with financial companies back in 96, 95, 96, and part of 97. I actually got hired, given an opportunity with a company named Prudential. It's been around a long time, back in 96 and 97 when I got licensed. So my pathway to education for what I'm doing now towards success started when they gave me an opportunity. I didn't quit. I started bugging people and finding out how to get in the industry. Keep in mind, I lived in a different state before I moved back in 93, 94. And I interviewed with a company in Atlanta called La Jolla Capital, which was based out of Los Angeles, actually out of La Jolla, California at the time. They offered me a position at that time called a stockbroker, what they used to call it back then. So I wanted it. I was like real young, early 20s, but I turned it down, and I wanted to somehow get back to Louisville. So that's when the interview process started all over again. So what does that have to do with what you all needing to do? Well, really, it's all about, first of all, you got to have a bank account. I opened my first bank account with the help of my mother when I was 16 years old at the Bank of Louisville. And, it was fun because I had my first job with Metro Parks every summer, so I would make $3.35 an hour back then. And I thought that was big money, for somebody my age. So I was getting $120, $150 a week. And I was put my whole check in there. Yeah, I would go buy things because guess what? I didn't know about investing. I didn't know about how to save money. Only thing I knew was to start putting my money in a bank account.
Your whole check?
Well, I put the whole check in there. But now I did buy clothes. I did buy sneakers. I bought my Nikes and things like that. But I didn't know how to put it to work for me. What do I mean by that?
Right.
When you make $1, the rule is, what I tell people is the 10-10-80. 10-10-80. 10% you give back to God, your first. 10% you pay yourself. The other 80%, well, for you guys' case, the other 80%, well, you got 90%. So, you got college. You can put a lot of money away. I'm telling you things that I wasn't taught at your age. You can have, like I have in 52 weeks here. If you put $1 and compound it every day away for 52 weeks, You can have $1,378 saved in 1 year.
$1 a day.
$1 a day compounded. The first day represents $1. Second day represents $2. Third day represents $3. Oh, I'm saying a week. I'm sorry, a week.
Right.
You compounded a week. It's hard. I mean, it's easy. You do something at home, like I have for easy understanding, a chores list, stuff you can do at home to help out. You do stuff like this, and your mother, father, whoever your parent, get a price tag on it, and then you working a job somewhere, you ahead of the game. It shouldn't be hard for you to put away $1,000. And then, if you put it not only in a bank account, which we'll talk about that the next time, about investing your money, that means I'm gonna paint a picture. Anybody like going to the mall? Everybody in here like going to the mall, huh? Okay. Now, there's probably about 100 to 200 different type of stores and businesses in a mall. I'm gonna show you how investments work. Every time you go in a store in a mall, you're investing into their business. You're making them money. You're making yourself happy because you're buying something you want, right? So basically, you're investing in something you know. Whether you buy tennis shoes, dress shoes, a jacket, some jeans, music, whatever it is. So if I own the mall, if I'm the landlord, so to speak, of the mall, and they pay me rent to have their business in the mall, I'm making money, right? If I own the mall.
Right.
So each business is paying me X amount of dollars. The same thing I'm trying to teach you is if you invest in the stock market in what we call a mutual fund. A mutual fund is something where a lot of companies come together, they pull all the money together in one plan, okay, in one name of a company, ABC Blue Stock Company, and it's called a mutual fund. Kind of like if you went up to the owner of the mall and you said, I want to be a partner in J Mall or St. Matthew's Mall, how much do I have to invest in the mall? He says $10,000. Well, that's nothing really when it comes to making millions. So if you give him $10,000 from the $1,000 a year you're going to save, by the time you're 20 years old or 25 years old, you literally could have over multi-six figures saved or invested. So if you gave him $10,000 to be a partner in J Mall, wherever it is, and the next year he says, our profit margin, we made $1 million a year, 10% ownership, you get $100,000. That'd be a great partnership, wouldn't it? And you didn't work for it. Am I right? So I'm trying to get you to see is those people that own business in the mall, they working for you. And you ain't even there because you put money into their ownership, capital's coming to you. That's how the billionaires and multimillionaires make money. Does that make sense? So, nothing wrong with getting a job because that's
there, y'all. We almost there. Okay.
nothing wrong with getting a job because that's where we all start. That's where we gotta be. Because whatever you do, you gotta have a passion for it. Okay? So I'm telling you, did I show you this? Okay. If you start to put money away to pay yourself, whether it be cutting grass, lawn care, cleaning the house, partner with your buddy. Y'all work out a deal together and say if we make $50, we're gonna split it. Or if I bring the equipment, we're gonna put part of the money in the equipment and then we're gonna split the money. So you gotta be creative. And everything I've just given Shorty, it's gonna show you everything you need to know from where you are right now to get to the next level, all the way through high school and from there on for the rest of your life. So we will get back together and I will show you things. I will draw stuff on the whiteboard. We'll read stuff together. We'll be reading the same things. And I'll teach you formulas how money compounds. What is the real math to compound interest and save your money in the bank? So I'm not going to downplay and talk to a low level. I want you to start thinking and using your mind and saying, I want my money to work for me. Give you an example. If you buy Nikes, anybody like Nikes in here? Or Under Armour or Reebok or Adidas, okay. If they make that shoe for $5, if it costs them $5 to make that shoe, and they sell it for $100, the intrinsic value is what? Well, basically, it's what you, basically that, and basically what you pay, willing to pay for it. So the real profit, that's their profit. But you're in the marketplace, they're selling it for $100. That's the intrinsic value of that shoe. So really, you got to start looking at things different. Can I get the same shoe for $35 instead of spending $100 and I pocket $65, put it in a savings account and make that money grow, and then I can buy other shoes of Nike down the road when I got $400 saved. Go ahead.
I mean, basically, like with that, like for the same price. So, like you said, if you was to sell it for $100 and it costs $5 to make, you could just make 19 more shoes of that same product and make twice as much. Well, not even twice as much. I just said 19 pairs of another shoe for $5. So if you make, that's a lot of money. You gonna make
Right.
even double. You doing more than double.
Right. But that's what they doing. They're billionaires. Right. So I'm trying to say you could do that for you with your own money, without a product. The real product is you and using your mind. I always tell people too when we talk, M-I-N-D, mind. Get your mind right. Money, intelligence, need, and discipline. Focus on money skills. Master your money early, so when you get my age and everybody else's age, it's a habit. It's nature. It's just, you just putting money away. It's a lifestyle, exactly. Intelligence, that's all part of it. Then you know how to qualify people that you want in your circle. You evaluate people that either pours in you or take away from you. When you making your money, that's where your intelligence come in. And then the need part. What do you really need to do with your money? Do you need to help somebody else? You need to help yourself? That's called budgeting. Needs and wants. Needs and wants. Live below your means. Start thinking about, I got to live below what I make. You might be young now, but trust me, you will remember what I'm telling you. When the paycheck's tight and the bills are there, at some point you're going to be like, if you're not saving your money, where do I spend my need money, not my greed money? Need and greed is two, don't let the greed take away from your need. And that's what you see in a lot of these pro athletes. They don't have knowledge of how money works. They're slaves to the industry. I'm telling you. They don't have the right people around them, the right agents. And I've been a sports agent working in that since 2008. I do that also. I just don't really talk about it a lot. But you got to really know who's around you. And then the discipline. Without discipline, you ain't making money. Simple as that. If you got a goal to have your own business, even to graduate, you got to have a discipline from class 1 to class 6 every day to get the grade. Even the discipline to help at home. Start to go to the grocery store with your parents if you can. And pay attention to what they're buying. Look at their receipts. Look at how much they spend and say, okay, now I ain't saying tell your mother, your father, do we really need this or not on the receipt? I'm just saying look at what really is being spent and then look at what you can do around the house to help buy things for you. You get what I'm saying? So, anybody have any questions? There's a lot of stuff I threw at you. I threw the kitchen sink at you for the last 20 minutes. Good. But I'm telling you, you rather hear this hard talk now than when you get on the job and you don't like your job or your career or your business. So I'm telling you, I look forward to really educating you young brothers, you young men, as we move along And you can make a lot of money now, believe it or not. You can put your money to work for you now while you're sleeping and create your own college scholarship fund. Because if you get the grades and they got the money to give you, you still got your money. Do whatever you want with it. If it's the right thing to do is buy you a car, if you qualify for that, or whatever the case may be. It makes it easy on your family too. Is that good, brothers? Is that good? All right.